Welcome back to another episode of Stream of Thought, and this is number 89. And we begin today by talking a little bit of culture on the plate for our
Dragon energy.
A lot of dragon energy. That was a great reenactment.
Yeah.
And what's the deal with Beyonce?
Everyone knows what the deal is except for Rix.
I'm enlightened today.
Rix doesn't know what's going on.
I feel like I learn a lot today.
Shame.
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 Then we talk a little bit about what? A little bit of.
I never remember.
We transition back in a little world politics, a little français.
Oh yeah. We talk about that, and then we talk. Oh, just kind of a little bit. Just my love for animals and critters.
Yeah.
And we talk about zoos and antiquated. I want to say antiquated, and in my brain, antiquated forms of entertainment.
Yeah, the circus.
It's a word that I'm trying to incorporate into my vocabulary.
I noticed you used it 3 times.
Yeah.
Well done. And then we round it out by just a quick little movie chat.
Yeah, quick little movie chat that will continue next time. But with that being said, episode number 89, Stream of Thought. We hope you enjoy.
Have you followed the Kanye shit at all?
No, I need you to update me on that because I've seen these memes about Kanye West and Donald Trump being friends, and so
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Tell
I'm
me.
not super in the loop. I just know all the late night comedians were talking about it. But basically Kanye West, who's been in the wilderness, so to speak, for the past couple of years, decided to come up a couple of days ago and tweeted something like, "I got my MAGA hat signed," or something like that, and he tweeted out a picture of Donald Trump signed his "Make America Great" red hat.
Oh, okay.
And so he tweeted out a picture of that with 30 fire emojis, and said something about the mob may be after both of us, but we're both dragon energy, or something like that. I don't know.
Oh,
the exact
yeah,
quote.
because I
We're
did see
dragon
something
energy.
with dragon energy. Yeah.
So it was weird. I don't know. Everyone apparently gives a lot of cred to Kanye. I mean, I don't know what the big deal about him is. In the same way, though, like, don't hate me.
You're
but
totally out of the
I'm the
loop on
same way. I'm the
everything.
same way about Beyonce. It's like, okay, cool, like, but why is she so popular? I'm sorry if I.
You know what I was actually
but-
just thinking the other day is, because I mean, obviously I remember listening to like Destiny's Child as a kid, and I've heard some of her singles. I'm not like this huge crazy fan, but I said to myself, like, I think I need to see Beyonce in concert before I die.
Okay, so what's the deal? Like,
If
why,
you need
like,
to
why?
explain-
I
listen.
don't understand.
Now is not the time
I think
or
now
place
is the perfect time
to
educate me.
because what's gonna
Are
happen
you gonna
is you'll
excoriate
never
me?
no. It's one of those things where if you don't understand, you're just not gonna understand.
She did All My Single Ladies.
Yeah.
Is
that was from like a while ago.
Is that before she became the world phenomenon, or was
No,
that after?
this-
Has she always
no,
been a world
it's-
phenomenon?
Oh man. Okay. So me explaining this to you is like you explaining to me
Marvel movie?
all this Marvel shit that's going on. Like, I don't care. 2, it's like because of that I don't really. It's hard to wrap your mind around.
But it's one of those like common social things that sort of
Yeah.
because
it's stemming from Destiny's Child, and they're like having all these hits.
Okay, so it originated
She's
at
never been.
Destiny's Child. Okay.
Tabloids have never like really. She's never been in the situation where like media's like shame on you. A couple of years ago or recently, they questioned her ability to sing, and so to like prove herself, quote unquote. She had like sang the national anthem at some event, and everyone's like cheering for her. I can't remember what happened, but something happened where they were like. The media is trying to twist it like, oh, well, maybe Beyonce's not all that great. And, like, social media caught on and then became this thing. But it's just like, dude, she's Queen Bee, man. It's Beyonce. Like, you can't... I don't know how... if you don't get it, you don't get it. Yeah. I'm not, like, this rabid fan. Like,
No,
oh, my gosh. But, I, like, follow that culture.
Yeah, you're more
entertainment
aware
stuff, yeah.
of that world than me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I look at it and she has fine music. I don't listen to her music really.
Yeah.
I'm not. I think that she's a kind person, but someone like Oprah, for example, I
Yeah.
can totally understand why people love and adore a woman like that. That, like, there are clear, admirable qualities that she's the embodiment of.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody could pick out a quality like that in Beyonce. Like, where is she a superhuman at, or is she just all around great? Like, but even so, I think Oprah's greater in every way other than the whole singing thing.
Well, also too, I think it has to do with just being a huge role model for young women in terms of just like working really hard, independence, like having a sustainable, career that's lasted so long. So it's like this figure, like if I work really hard, like I can do what she does. Like anything's possible.
So,
like I can do it. Yes.
And
I'd say women.
One of the best icons.
I'd say women empowerment would be like the number one thing.
Okay, that totally makes sense. I can appreciate that. Yeah, I can totally appreciate that. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting that she was the one who's chosen as the almighty, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because there's really no. I mean, I think Oprah, Beyonce, and who's another one who's like. People are just in awe.
14-year-olds aren't in awe reverence of like Oprah. You know what I'm saying? Probably because you know what I'm saying. Like,
Beyonce?
Yeah. Like,
really? So
it's a huge age group. Like from little kids to people that are her own age. She's I think she's in her mid third. Maybe she's like 37. I don't know. She's younger than you think.
She just had her kid, right?
Yeah, they had twins or something. I don't know. Yeah. I can't remember. Like, I don't follow all this like family stuff. I'm not like that enthralled by other people's lives. Like, I follow their career and stuff, but I'm not like, I don't know what's going on with their personal life. Really,
because I had heard she had that Lemonade album, right?
Yeah, that was a huge.
Cheated on her.
No, I don't know. So, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know them.
They're just
so, you know what I'm saying?
It's just like the tabloid type gossip.
Yeah.
It's like, why did she write this very explicit album?
Yeah.
Who knows? But we can speculate.
Yeah, so I don't really know. Again, I'm not like following. I'm not like, oh, what's going on with this? Like, I hear about it, but yeah, right. Thank you.
I feel like there's no shame in saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to Kanye though.
Kanye 2020.
He's already announced that he's running for president. Here's the weird part. He's already announced he's running for president. And so here he's like making sweet, sweet love with Donald Trump on the Twitterverse. And people are like, well, what the fuck is going on? And a lot of people are saying, well, he must have lost his mind. But then you have somebody like Chance the Rapper who comes out. And you know who Chance the Rapper is, right? Mm-hmm. Chicago boy. And he comes out and he's like, listen, not all black people have to... support or be against a particular person. Like, we are individuals and unique. And I thought that was a really resonant point, because you think about it. Personality type, I feel like it's a no-brainer that Kanye and Trump would be two peas in a pod. They're very similar in their grandiosity.
Yeah.
And call it dragon energy or whatever the fuck you want to do. Yeah. One of them's president, and the other one was able to interrupt Taylor Swift at an award ceremony and still be king of the hill, a decade later. And so, they're totally.
What he say?
They share so many characteristics together. It's like, of course, he's a Trump supporter.
And George Bush hates black people. What did he just say? And then, gosh, that was during when was that? That was during like the Hurricane Katrina, like a public announcement.
George W. Bush doesn't care about black people.
And what's famous. His name? Mike Myers is just like, what the hell, and just like silently walks off camera.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Kanye, what?
So you have the dynamic of the fact that he is crazy enough to run for president. So I do think that he'll be running for president.
It's been proven that you don't have to have any competency. You can say whatever you want, and you can still be president.
You got to have a name and a pretty face.
Yeah.
Not even a pretty face. You just got to have a name. A name.
Kanye 2020. Here's a scary thing. Not scary, but it is like, wow. He could, if the system isn't rigged, theoretically, like, people, like, how many people out there young voters don't vote because they're not into politics. But then if you have Kanye West on the ticket or just a write-in, he could totally get like
disaster.
maybe not
Oh
like
my God.
be voted president, but I could see something happen where they're like, and Kanye wasn't voted president, but there was an alarming amount of votes in his favor across the country as an independent or something.
You'll get that every once in a while. Santa always gets a healthy portion of votes.
I'd vote for
election
him
years.
if his name's on the ticket.
No, his name's never on the ticket. They write him in though.
Just for the hell of it?
Like what is it? He gets like 0.5% of the vote or something like that. Santa.
Oh, does he?
Maybe 1%.
Oh, what are some of these top? Easter Bunny is another one, or what's?
Yeah, the Easter Bunny, Jesus. Who else?
Gumby.
I don't know. I think Hitler has made the list.
Oh my
before.
gosh.
You'll have that occasionally. Yeah. You'll love third-party people who haven't gotten on the ballot and stuff like that. But yeah, the typical ones are like Santa, the Easter Bunny, Jesus, and...
Kermit the Frog or someone.
Yeah, I actually think it might be Kermit the Frog. It might be. So yeah, it's very interesting. So, but anyway, the whole point of why
Dragon Energy.
why Mr. Dragon Energy did this, he's got an album dropping. So it's a PR move. Like it's as simple as that. Like whether or not he's a Trump supporter, he very well could be. Like good for him. Like wealthy man supporting somebody who is of similar characteristics. Totally makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm not like like my moral sensibilities are not offended by it. Like I totally see the connecting of the dots of how we get there. But he has an album dropping, and so what better way to get people talking about something than to tweet out Dragon Energy with 30 fire emojis?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I think I'll have to do some further research.
Yeah, no, you really shouldn't.
Okay.
It's not worth the time. But speaking along those lines, I'm sure you've heard. Well, maybe not about the French president coming here.
I heard something about that, but I really didn't hear anything. I heard that something about DACA. That's all I know.
Something about DACA, and that's all I know.
Yeah, something recently.
Do you know what DACA is?
Yes, I don't recall what it stands for, but that is when
Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival.
Yeah, that's yes.
So it's pretty much that.
That's like when you were brought here. If you're brought here from another country as a little kid, it's pretty much saying like obviously like you're not in control of the situation, so we're going to go ahead and take care of you, and we're going to give you some special treatment, not like kick you out the moment you turn 18 or something weird like that.
Yes, exactly. And so you have, and the name pretty much sums it up. Technically, an 8-year-old who's brought here illegally is illegal, and so DACA, which stands for Deferred Action, which is they're holding off deporting an illegal immigrant for childhood arrivals. So the exception is made. It was the law that was made to be an exception for children. So deferred action for children who arrived in the U.S.
Got it.
So, but no, that's been one of those things that's been back and forth over the course of the past couple of years in limbo. Like, what's going to happen to the kids? Like all these kids who are now like 18, 20 years old.
You remember that huge ordeal when we were like probably 10 years old? I can't remember the name of the kid that came over from Cuba.
Elio Gonzalez?
Something like that.
Elio Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
I remember that being in the news like every day, all day for a long period of time.
Now, we would have been
We were like 10 years old, I think. I think this was like 1998, 1999.
I remember because we used to get Time Kids magazine or something like that.
Yeah, we did get that.
And
yeah.
I do recall, like, that was a big topic of conversation. That Elio Gonzalez.
I think that was his
situation.
As the clicks. Elian Gonzalez. Wait, hang on. That says... Wait, I guess he's a grown-up now.
Yes.
It says he's a... Yeah, okay. It said... Because on Google it says, Elian Gonzalez, Cuban engineer. And I'm like, wait, no, that's not the person I'm looking for.
That's the
Wait,
person.
no, yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, as a young boy in 2000, became embroiled in a heated international... So, not 2000. Embroiled in a heated international custody and immigration controversy involving Cuba and the United States. His father and other relatives were in Miami, and
Yeah, and he had come over illegally on a boat into the United States, and he was seeking asylum. and the U.S. was like, no, we're deporting you back to Cuba.
Wow, his mother had drowned in 1999 attempting to leave Cuba with her boyfriend and his boy.
Yep.
Placed him with paternal relatives who sought to keep him in the United States against his father's demands that Gonzalez be returned to Cuba. Damn, I'm not gonna read this whole thing.
It was a very tragic tale. But anyway, long story short, he did end up getting deported back to Cuba.
Okay.
And he ended up growing up there and is a Cuban citizen. I guess he's an engineer now or something like that.
I can't imagine conditions in your home country being so terrible that you're willing to throw, I mean, some of these, have you seen pictures of some of these makeshift rafts?
Yeah.
It's like, that is going to fall apart within hours.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I think I saw a picture of like a school bus with like a crap ton of tires connected to it to
As
keep
a floating device. Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, it would be terrifying to live
Like,
on
you
an
would rather
island
die than continue to stay in your home country.
You think about it, we're on a continent, man. We got land as far, like, technically we could probably cross all the borders that we want on foot without any issues.
Yeah.
Like it would be very unlikely, unless you wanted to do the Mexican border, that you'd have any issues going anywhere and finding whatever resources you need to survive. Like, it's easy to do. We have a big country. Mm-hmm. Cuba, it's like this isolated land. They import basically all their food and stuff like that. They're not getting any food because of the trade embargo, and you're starving. You're on an island. You can't escape. The government's going to kill you if you speak out against them. Like, what other option do you have in instances like that? Like,
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. Fun fact, the news didn't really talk about this. This year is the first time in over a generation that a Castro is not in charge.
I read about
they had
that.
no elections.
And I thought to myself, how did that happen? Was the brother just like tired and just like, I'm stepping down?
It was it is not a free and fair democratic election. He was hand selected by the brother to take over.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, by Raul Castro,
Yeah.
I believe. And so this is just the line of ascension, but basically there's no other Castros that can take power, and so they had to hand it off to the person that they could trust most, and now it's no longer a dynasty. Now it's, who knows what'll happen.
So then, was this election, was there even an election, or they're just saying that, or was there an election with just one name on it?
If I recall correctly, it was a state-sponsored candidate, so like basically there's in countries like that you don't really have free democracy.
Yeah.
Like we think of ourselves as having the right to privacy, like we can check the box for you can go in and check the box for Donald Trump and no one will ever know you did that.
Right.
And in countries like that, people will know that you did stuff like that.
Okay.
There's more there's more fear of government surveillance of activities.
Okay.
So people tend to just, if it's been implied that violence or something bad will befall them if they don't keep in line.
Interesting.
It tends to come through. So
Man.
yeah. But yeah, France, man, they're taking over. They're gonna become the new world power.
I recently was watching the Office episode where Michael's obsessed with like China.
God, back to the.
I'm almost done, man.
Oh my God.
I'm almost done. So why France? Bring me up to speed on the political and social and economic realm of
Dude,
the
Macron,
world.
the French president, Emmanuel Macron, he's a fucking player, dude. He played Trump like a fiddle.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know any of this, so tell me.
Well,
First of all, I have a quick question. How is their government set up, and how often are there elections? How long are his term?
It's a democracy. I believe it's a parliamentary democracy.
So
Where they have multiple parties. They have more than two parties. It was two major parties before, but it turns out the party that Emmanuel Macron is part of, he started it, and they ended up winning a plurality of seats for the first time they were on the ballot in this most recent election. So it was a populist revolution. So you've got like conservative governments, people, liberal government people, and then the populist government, which Macron is a part of. And so basically, that's how their government is set up. They have elections every, I don't know, however many years. It's similar, 3, 6, something like that.
Got it. Okay, irrelevant to the story
Irrelevant
you're about to tell.
Irrelevant to the story. The main point that you need to know is that France, like everywhere else, is going through this whole populist thing, and they're electing leaders that are of the people. Now, that can take many different forms. Sometimes they turn into authoritarians, as you see in some places in the Middle East or Asia, areas of Asia. But other times, you can have a populist like Macron, who's like a smart dude. Like, he used to be in investment banking, and he wants to restructure. France is having issues with unions right now, and their economy, I think, is suffering because of a bad deal that the government and unions have together. And so his main thing was reforming union power and basically returning power more to the people than to the unions. And so he's gone through some popularity issues right now, but he was elected on a wave of support. People just loved him. He was like a charismatic, like charming, everything that Trump is not. Like, he was. And so
Friendly,
like jovial, respectful. And so he had Trump over for a visit a couple of months ago, and it was, I believe, for Bastille Day. And Macron, knowing that Trump has responded favorably when he visited other world leaders, and they did extravagant things. His first foreign trip was to Saudi Arabia, and he got to touch a glowing orb. Like, when he gets to do or see cool stuff that makes him feel important, he tends to be very, very positive towards people. And when people go in just with a business mindset, like, let's have a conversation, he's like, this is boring. I don't want to be a part of this. And so Macron hosted a military parade for Trump. All these tanks, missiles, troops. and he's like, this is all for you, President Trump. And Trump's like, I like this. And he came back and he's like, we're gonna host a military parade. So now on the 4th of July, we're gonna have a military parade because he liked Francis so much. So recently, this past week, Macron came to visit the U.S. for the first time. And Donald Trump remembered how much fun he had in France. And Macron came in and he's like, listen, Donald, we are both of the same cloth. You and I, we have risen on this popular anger that the world is feeling right now. Let us do great things with it. We have power. Let us use that power. And like, his whole thing was trying to get Trump to stay in the Iran deal because he wants to pull out, even though that would make absolutely no sense. They have their money already, so it's like they're agreeing to the deal out of goodwill. So if we cut it off, we're screwing ourselves. And so Macron's like, we have done great things already. We can do even greater things if we stay in the deal. And so I think Trump is leaning towards staying it, but it was fucking surreal. Like, at a press conference, he's like,
he just dangle something fun and shiny in front of him, and he was do what he wants.
He was picking dandruff off Macron's shoulder or something, like some sort of like white speck. He's like, oh, we gotta get this dandruff. It was so weird. We gotta get this dandruff off. Like, we gotta make you perfect. You are perfect, but we just want to make you even more perfect. It's just like, this is so fucking weird. Like, all you have to do is be a white dude who like gives Trump military parades, and like, holy shit.
Wow.
The things that people do, the House Whip. So a member of the third most powerful member of the House of Representatives on the Republican side. He has gained Trump's favor by having a staffer take out Trump's have a bag of jelly beans and sort them out to Trump's 3 favorite colors, and have a full like mason jar of jelly beans of only Trump's favorite color. It's like I don't know, like yellow, red, and blue or something like that. And had literally his staff an entire day just sort through, whatever it was, whatever candy it was, and then deliver it to him with a personal note like, I saw that you like these flavors or something like that. I hope you enjoy these sweets or something like that. And now Trump absolutely loves this dude. He was thinking about him for the next chief of staff after he gets rid of his current one. It's just so easy. Like, it's incredibly, like, it's kind of surreal how easy it is to be able to get him to do whatever you want if you just treat him a certain way. Like, you just have to be like, you'll look cool doing this, or like whatever. And so it's very That's very interesting.
That is pretty interesting.
That's
I wish I knew exactly what to do for people around me to get them to do what I wanted or to just get myself on their good side.
And it's.
Oh wait, just tell jokes and be charming.
Oh yeah, well, he's not. Oh wow. I think that just sums up our relationship right there. As I sit in awkward silence and you.
I'm stretching. So I almost wanted to start this podcast earlier. I went out last night. Luckily, last night I was supposed to go downtown to do this dubbing for the audio for this one movie.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to do like this rehearsal for this thing that I'm doing later today. And the person texted me like about 20, 30 minutes before I was planning on leaving. And they're like, oh, actually, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's a very small portion of audio. Like, I don't want you to make the trip out here. Like, don't worry about it. I was like, oh, nice. Like, okay, cool. And then shortly thereafter, I get a text saying from this other person, like, oh, hey, this other actor had a family emergency, like, couldn't make it tonight. Like, we'll just meet tomorrow and film and just rehearse shortly before. It's like not a big deal. Like, oh, nice. Like, this is awesome because I did not want to go downtown yesterday and then again today. And also my acting instructor was having a party for all the people that were in the program or had been in the program. So I was trying to think like, okay, I got this thing at 5 and this next
Trying
thing
to cram it all together.
And this thing's at 6, but then like it'd be like 3 hours between 6 until I would maybe go to this party, but I don't want to drive all the way back to Glen Ellen and then go all the way back to like, you know, Logan Square or Humboldt Park. So it's just like, I'm like, okay, cool. Like I can just hang out at my house, not do this crap, and then just go to the party. And so I go to the party, and I was thinking like, do I take the train? Am I going to drive? Well, I think I'm going to take the train to Oak Park and then take an Uber. I've done that before because it's not easy to get to where he is. Like there's no easy way to get there, and unless you just drive. And then last minute I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to drive because I don't want to be constricted to like the train schedule, and I don't want to be like all of a sudden be spending like a ton of money on Uber and train tickets. Again, train tickets are totally like just like what the hell? Just like way too expensive.
Now. Yeah.
And anyway, I go to the party, I come back, and I go to bed at like 12:40 or 1 o'clock, and I wake up at 5 o'clock this morning. And I couldn't go back to bed because I was just like, I'm ready to start the day. Like, I've slept really well. But the weird thing is, yesterday, I had woken up at 4:30 to go to work at 5:30 or something like that, or 4:45. So I had been up for about 20 hours.
Yeah.
Slept for 4 hours. Couldn't go back to sleep because my body felt that was sufficient and ready to start the day.
Were you dragging though?
No.
You were fine?
Yeah.
Wow. Aren't you just a bundle of energy?
So I like 6 o'clock this morning, I almost texted you like, hey, you want to do the podcast soon? But I was like, I'll wait until at least 7.
Yeah, I was up right at 7. Well, the only reason too, I had tried to go to bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I get ready to go into bed. Thank goodness I turn on the light before I hop into bed. There's poop everywhere.
No!
I think my cat shit all over the bed.
Oh my gosh!
So I've got a clump of poop on my comforter, 2 clumps of poop on my sheet, a clump of poop on a little rug thing that I have under my bed for my feet, which I step in, and then another clump of poop that's just like off to the side.
Why is it all over the place?
Where did all this poop come from?
Has your cat ever done that before?
No.
Not even like pooped on the steps or like one poop in the hallway or something weird like that?
Yes.
Okay.
He's done that in the past, but
but there's no reason to have all this poop everywhere.
I looked in the cat litter and it was full. He normally poops outside.
Yeah.
So it's normally not an issue, but I'm like, did he think that like because it was full, because that's when he tends to be a little more like pooping places he shouldn't be, is when the cat litter is full and it's wintertime. During the summer or during spring, he'll go out and poop and it's not an issue. So normally you don't need to refill it, but I don't know. Like I don't know what the. And here's the other thing too: is my dog is getting chemotherapy right now,
Yeah.
and that leads to like loose bowel stuff. So a lot of diarrhea, but that normally doesn't take effect for 72 hours. He had the treatment like 48 hours ago.
Okay.
And so it's like I don't think this is his.
Cat
it's
poo
just
is little.
fucking everywhere, and it's just like little clumps of squishy stuff. And it's like, are you kidding me?
So
9:30 at night, so I gotta wash all my
but
stuff
cats
twice.
like
Because if it is for whatever reason a dog poo, that's radioactive. There's radioactive isotopes in there, so you wanna make sure that's clean.
you
But
can tell the difference between cat poo and dog poo though. Cat poo is real little.
this was small. It was tough. It was in between what it could have been because it looked like it was the scraps from the dog.
Okay.
Like if he had little squirts or something like that, it could have been that, or it could have
a
been
little
the
case
cats.
of the Hershey squirts.
Oh, so gross!
But okay, but
Oh
cats.
my God.
Do cats just like inherently know to go? They just like to take a dump in a box of sand. You don't need to train them, do you? Or
They
what?
like to cover up their mess.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the thing, which is like maybe he tried to. My sheets were a little messed up, but I was so freaked out that there was poo everywhere that I didn't really. Pay
But
attention
you can
to
have
it.
a cat and get a litter box and like not have to do anything. They'll just like they'll just go.
Any area that is easiest for them to be able to hide their mess. And so you'll see cats out in a lawn or something like that, like paw dirt or paw grass over where they've gone. Cat litter, like sand, whatever, that's just the most naturally easy for them to just move over and cover up the mess. So
Got it.
yeah, it tends to be just instinctual. And I would assume that's why I could be totally wrong, but
Yeah.
just from my observation and my basic understanding of cat instincts.
I would really like to have, in an ideal world or living situation, I would love to have just like an Ace Ventura thing going on where I have like all these little critters that live with me. And I'd love to have a cat, obviously cat, dog, a squirrel, raccoon, bird, chimpanzee, just all crazy animals, and just like have them live with me and like hang out all the time. And I'd love to have a bird where like I can walk outside and have him on my shoulder or something.
An attack bird?
No,
Go
just
get
like
him!
a little bird, like just walking around, and then he can like just take off, cause just stretch his wings, do some flying. But then he like sees me way down below, so he doesn't lose me. So like, or if I let him out the window at the house or something, and he just stretches his wings, flies around, and then just like does his thing, just be a bird for anywhere between 2 to 4, 6 hours, and then just like comes back. You know what I'm saying?
I'll get you a drone.
No, I don't
You can have it say.
also known as robot birds.
Robot birds.
Yes.
Just have them flying around,
Yeah.
being a drone.
But yeah, if I could have some Ace Ventura thing going on, that would be awesome.
I remember one of the most. I don't know. For some reason, this question stuck out as me as like the childhood question of like, what animal would you be? I think it was.
Oh,
Was that
really?
like a question that was commonly asked?
Oh, I'm sure.
I remember just because mine was the white tiger, and I'm like,
A white
fuck,
tiger?
I fucking love the white
Yeah.
tiger. First time I saw it, I was like 7 or 8 years old, and it just
Really?
stuck out as a regal animal and very, very cool.
Yeah, I like tigers. I like
A
lions.
hippopotamus?
A hippopotamus. Maybe like a baby hippo. Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
baby
so
hippos are
I
so
think
cute.
more people get killed by hippopotamus. So this is real side note.
Sidebar.
So what is this? Hippopotamus? Is it just hippopotamus for singular and plural, or
Oh my God,
hippopotamus?
I've
I
actually
would
heard
love
this
for it to be
before.
hippopotami.
Hippopotami. It's not hippopotami.
So the more people get killed by hippopotami than lions, I think, is like a real statistic.
Are you kidding?
Those things, when their mouth, no joke, dude. Like when they open up their mouths, you can't see, but they're like this big.
I've
Like,
seen some at the zoo, but I've never seen.
Dude,
them,
it's like a couple, 2 to 3 feet between their jaw and the top of their
But the babies
mouth.
are so cute.
I know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
Baby elephants are super cute. When they're born, they already weigh like 200 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to make sense.
Yeah. I'd love to have a little baby elephant around. A mini elephant that never grows. He's just like baby size forever.
What do they
Or a
call that?
rabbit, that'd be
Yeah,
cool to
genetically modified like Shih Tzu.
Micro pigs.
Fent.
Yeah. You know what micro pigs are? They're just little like
Yeah.
pigs that stay the same
Yeah.
size.
The little
Unfortunately,
purse
as the
pigs.
result of science, I think they only live to be like 5 years.
Yeah, that's very sad.
Yeah.
Well, when's the last time you went to the zoo?
I unfortunately 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I went
Okay.
with Perry like to the Lincoln Park Zoo a couple of years ago in the winter. Yeah, it was like 2.5 years ago. And the time before that, I don't know. But I only
So,
went to
like-
Lincoln Park Zoo because it was free, not because I didn't want to pay money, but because I didn't want to contribute to the containment of animals.
Wow, so you have some
Dude,
sort of
I would love
philosophical
in
background.
like
Interesting.
obviously the sooner the better, but I would love in time for zoos to be illegal and closed to the public.
Well,
Because my theory is
That's
no matter
interesting.
how great a zoo can be, once an institution has money coming in, like that money will find a way, or people will find a way to use that money in a
devious.
in a devious way. Yes.
Wow, I never even thought about that because I keep thinking to myself, we're going through this whole social change where everyone's like super politically correct, like no one uses the word gay to be, oh, that's so gay, like no one uses
Yeah.
that, like it's very taboo,
Right.
and you keep thinking, well,
so gay.
dude, you're so gay. Oh my god, the number of times that I heard that, probably every other sentence that came out of a teenager's mouth.
middle school,
Dude, it's okay.
I heard that word like 200 times a day.
A day, seriously.
fact.
You're so gay, dude.
All the time. And so we go through these things. It's like, how could we?
That's just a bundle of sticks.
That was the best during track. Yeah, that would always be the response.
That's just a bundle of sticks.
Okay, continue.
Anyway,
Sorry.
I keep thinking. So we go through these cultural things where we're in shock and horror of our previous selves. Like, how could we have been so barbaric?
Yeah.
I never thought about it. Zoos could be the next thing.
Yeah.
Where we've already seen the circus shut down because partly because people stopped going, and partly because of the animal rights activists.
Think of it too. How much of an antiquated event that is, because that thing was, the circus came around like in the 1800s. Like what do people do back then? They didn't have TV or radio, like to go to the circus and see it. Like it was like this huge event. Like wow, and then slowly entertainment evolves, and all of a sudden the circus is just like, nah, not really that special.
Yes, now we have our choice of entertainment,
Yeah.
and especially when it's so readily
Yeah.
available on the TV or on our phones.
Yeah.
Who needs going to actual places? Bowling leagues too, like that sort of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Like everything's in decline. Public social square, but yeah. What were we talking about?
Zoos and
Yeah.
being shut
Oh,
down.
yeah. And just the fact too that, it is kind of, if you look at it objectively, that's I never thought about it that way. It's kind of barbaric.
Yeah.
Like to keep animals
Because
caged
when
up
I
their
was
entire life, basically.
because
they're
I'm
treated
totally
well.
all for, obviously, like some animals can't go back to the wild,
Yes,
right?
obviously.
But I'm walking around the zoo and everything, and I remember walking in like the little house where they have like some of the big cats, and I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. They're not only in this cage that's about twice the size of this room, not really that big, but the wall is painted to look like the desert. I'm just like, really? Really?
Yeah.
These animals aren't dumb. That's more for like the people, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But you can tell they're walking around and they're so bored. Like
This
it
is not
made
their-
me sad.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's well thought. I never really now you got me thinking about that. 'Cause
That's
I
why
never really,
in going along those lines, it pisses me off when people have birds as pets and their wings are clipped so they can't fly.
oh, that
You know what I'm
sounds
saying?
horrible. I don't know.
And or like when people have dogs and they have surgery so they can't bark, or like when people have cats and they have surgery so they can't extend their
Oh yeah,
claws.
I know that. I would not be like if they're a young animal
Yeah.
or something like that before the pain receptors embed that memory.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's humans can be cruel without even realizing it.
But yeah, it would be great. I would love to lead the coalition of freeing the animals. I would totally, dude.
You would be one of those people. What is
Yeah.
it? Outbreak or something like
Yeah.
that, where you
Yeah.
release the virus monkey and it ends up eating your face off. And you become a zombie.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's how
I would be one of those people
Outbreak
that
goes.
would totally free the animals from the zoo, and you're driving on the interstate, and all of a sudden
You see the
like,
elephant running
or
by.
yeah, an elephant running by, or like a
Tiger eating a baby.
tiger eating a baby. No.
Yeah, I bet you'd feel bad then.
Yeah, I would be like, well, sacrifices need to be made.
Sacrifices. Yes, Negan.
Or Thanos.
Or Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But just all about the animals.
Yeah. So, that's about all I got.
Yeah, that's all right.
I was gonna bring up the Marvel thing.
Yeah, we'll save that for next time.
Yeah, because
But,
I mean, there's not really too much to talk about it. I don't want to talk about spoilers or anything. It's just fascinating that I was able, like, of all the times that I've seen a movie with you, and I think we've seen a movie. This is like the 4th time we've seen a movie together, and the 3 other times I think were your choice, or maybe one of them was Cooper's choice and 2 of them were your choices. Okay, because we saw the fucking crazy possession movie.
Oh yeah,
that was dumb as shit.
That was my choice for sure. Because it was like, oh, Rix is in seminary school. God and the devil. Oh, people being possessed. The first 30 seconds, I made a big mistake. This movie
one of the worst
is terrifying.
ever.
The devil inside.
The devil inside. That's right. Oh.
I remember looking over at you. I remember looking over at you, and you're sitting there just so calm with your eyes closed. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like, yeah, this is
That was
some
such a screwed up
jump scare garbage.
But I
bullshit.
made up for it when we saw Interstellar.
That's right. We did see
Yeah,
Interstellar.
we saw Interstellar.
Okay, and then we saw one other one that was kind of a weird one.
I don't
one
remember.
that was not a hit. That was one of these like off-brand movies.
I don't recall.
You like off-brand movies.
You gotta give me a few more clues that pertain to the movie. I have no idea.
But regardless, I'm just glad that I was able to that you were willing to check out a Marvel movie, and it wasn't. What do you think? My choice of movies, I think,
it was cool.
I don't
it
go
was
to.
Cool.
Last time I went to the movie theater, years ago. Well,
Really?
Yeah, it's probably been years.
I went to the theater once with Danny at Yorktown, and we went to go see the Beatles movie that came out, Across the Universe. And I was watching it, and I didn't realize how it was a different experience than I thought it was going to be. And Danny was upset. He thought the movie was stupid, and he wanted to leave. And he got up and started leaving, and he was my ride, so I had to follow
Oh
him.
man, that's funny. That sounds like something that he'd do.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's.
dude, this movie's gay. We're leaving. No, I'm leaving. All right.